Hi, my name is Aditi Sen, and I'm presenting here a demonstration of a partially implemented PhotoSite for CS 6320. This is using Ruby on Rails. So the PhotoSite has two working URLs, user/index and photo/index ID, where ID is passed as a parameter to the URL, which corresponds to a user ID. So the users just post photographs on their page and they have comments on the photographs. So the first user URL, let's run the project here, and I'm running it locally. So let's type the first URL, and it takes me to the page where it lists all the 6 users that are currently on PhotoSite. And the first name of the user takes me to their page showing all the photographs posted by them and the comments that show on the photos. So for example, I click on Justin and it takes me to Justin Bieber's page where he has posted 2 photographs. So you can see the photograph has date and time posted here. It also has a date posted on the comments and by which user, the user who has posted the comment. So in this case, Justin himself has posted this comment. So when I click on this, it takes me back to his page. Let's check the second user here, Paris Hilton, and she has 2 photographs posted, and she has a comment on her second photograph posted by John Osterhout. So let's click on John, and it takes me to his page that shows all the that shows his photograph. So there's only 1 photograph and 3 comments posted by himself. So I click on John and it takes me back to his page again. So let's check Megan Trainor here, and the fourth one is Barack Obama. You can see that on his second photograph there's a comment posted by Paris Hilton. So I click on that and it takes me to the Paris Hilton's web page on PhotoSite. And let's see the 5th user here, Santa Claus, and he has a comment posted by himself. When clicking that link, it takes me back to his page. Let's check out the last user. So we have seen this one already. So let's go back to the code and see how these are created. So it's created by MVC, model, controller, and views. We have to create 3 models, user.rb. So it has one user has many photos and one user has many comments. So this is the relationship I'm setting with user and comments and user and photographs for the database. And there is a photo model which one photograph has many comments and it belongs to one user. So this is the relationship of photos and comments and photos and user that I'm setting here. And with comment model, you can see that one comment belongs to one user and one comment belongs to one photo. So this is the relationship of comment and user and comment and photo here. So when we create these models, DB migrate also creates create users, which just creates the table with the attributes. So we added the attributes for the user here as first name and last name with their types, and user.id is automatically generated. Same for the photos. We created the table with 4 attributes here: user ID, date, time, file name. 3 attributes. So the user ID is whose photograph is that, which user. Date and time is the post of that photograph. What date and time is the photograph being posted on the photo site. And the file name corresponds to the files that I have loaded here under assets and images. So it's going to take from there automatically. And create comments, it has 4 attributes. Photo ID, so which photo is the comment for, which user ID, which user has posted the comment, so that corresponds to the user ID attribute. Comment attributes itself holds the comment, the string, and date and time is the date and time the comment is posted on PhotoSite. This is the load data file that was provided to us by our instructor. It's used to populate the tables. So after that, we go to run rake task and do db migrate. After that, we get the tables here on the database tools window that you can see. And you can see that there are 3 tables being created with all these attributes that we have created. So there's two extra attributes created and then updated at. They are automatically generated by DB migration, and the IDs are automatically generated by Rails. So when we click on a table and check to see the data entries, you can see that it's been populated with the data from load data RB. So let's go back and see the table entries for the photo table and for the user table. Now we create a controller for the first URL, which is users/index. So users is the controller here, and we define a method called index. So that would automatically take me, that's the connection, controller and controller name and the method name, and that would generate a view by the method name, which would be the which would show me the contents of the view in the web page. So the user controllers has one method called index, and it just fetches all the user from the table user and stores it in this variable here at users. And then view is created. Then we create a view here, and you can see that I use that same variable at users to fetch all the data and put it in the view to display the table. So you can see this side corresponds to this one here, this one. So it has all the table, it created a table of all the users. So this is the table that I'm creating, and for each user it's just putting the table data, and I'm creating a link to the first name here, and I'm generating the link I'm generating the URL from this syntax here, where it goes to the controller photos for the method or action index, and using the ID to as the user.id here, and so it's generating the URL photos slash index slash index slash ID, and takes me to the web page, to the page of that particular user on PhotoSite. And let's go to the photos controller here, and you can see that I have a joint user and photos, and then I'm trying to find out one particular user from that parameter that I'm getting, and extracting that particular user and keeping that in the variable at users here. And you can also see that I'm joining photos and comments table, and I am fetching all the photographs for that particular user and keeping it in this variable here. So all these variables at photos and at users are available in the photos index view. So you can see in the index view here for photos, I'm using these variables to fetch each data to put it in the layout here. So this is the photos posted by that, let's say that user is Justin Bieber. So it just prints out the name Justin and then Bieber. And for each photo of Justin Bieber, so all the photos for Justin Bieber are stored in this variable at photos. So for each photo in that variable, I'm looping through to put the image on the page, on the view, on the web page, on the layout here, and using image underscore tag, and just putting the photo dot file name. This is the attribute that's fetching the file directly from images here. Then also I'm storing all the comments for that particular photo. I'm storing all the comments for that particular photo in this variable at comments here. So for the first photograph of Justin Bieber, if it has, let's say, 2 comments, so for each comment in that variable at comments, I am extracting the comment out from this attribute name. This second comment is the attribute name, and this one is the object itself. So I'm putting the comment here. Then I'm trying to find out which user posted that comment. So I'm using the comment database here, comment table, and getting the user ID attribute and trying to do a find on the user table. So once I find that user, I'm putting it in this variable at user. Then I am putting a link to that user's first name and creating the URL to take me to that page for that particular user, which is this one. So the URL being created, since it's in the same controller, that is photos, I do not need to put the controller in the syntax. It's just action index, and then ID, it becomes this particular user's ID, and then I'm putting the comment date and time the comment was posted on by just fetching the attribute date time from the comment table. And this is how there are 2 loops going on, one for the photos for one particular user, all the photos it's fetching, and for that each photo it's also fetching all the comments from the comment table. So there are 2 loops going on here, and what we see is all these pages here in photos / index /1, and then if you click on a name here, the comment posted by some other user, it takes it to that page. So this is what is being done. So let me show you how routes connects all the MVCs parts. So in the routes, you can see that get user / index, whenever the browser has this URL, it connects me to this controller users, and the index is the method. So it connects to this controller and index, which in turn connects me to that view, and that view takes me to this URL here. So this is how routes work. So the challenges that I faced with using Rails for this project are just creating this link, and the order was different in book and online. So it was I was having a hard time figuring it out. But once I changed the order here, it worked fine. So I have no idea why it worked that way. So that was the challenge that I faced. And what I learned from this is the MVC part, how each model, controller, and view are connected. Once you create a model, then you create a controller, and then you create a view. And in the controller, you just connect to the model and fetch the data from there. And in the view, you just put all the data or update the model there. And that puts the page, the layout on your web browser. That's the end of this demonstration. Thank you for watching.